Hey guys, I don't know how I come up with this stuff. One night, I decided that I want to make my next day less wasted. I got out of bed, sat down at my desk, and wrote a to-do list. And then I saw how long it was, and wondered if there's actually even that much time in a day. There must be, but I was quite doubtful, so I decided it's best to test it out. Step 1, I wrote down all the tasks. Step 2, I wrote down how long it would take me to complete each task. Step 3, I wrote down the actual day plan, from waking up at a certain time to hitting the hay. Step 4, I went to sleep because busy day ahead. Step 5, I woke up, looked at the list, and the sleep just went away, so I got up and got to it. 3 facts. 2023 studies showed that 82% of people don't have a time management system. Only 20% of individuals actually feel that they have control over their workload. Time blocking is a simple way to regain that control. Spending 10 to 12 minutes planning your day can save you up to 2 hours of time. Doesn't it sound worth it? Let's see how I did. During the day, I felt a bit of pressure, but not in a bad way. However, if I were to time block my day in some sort of a calendar, I would instantly feel overwhelmed and have no motivation to do it. My method with Apple Notes or Structured made me feel so productive. I might have miscalculated the time that each task would take me. Luckily, I have left myself a longer break because I worked through it all. Some tips I can give you. Add more time than you think you'll need, because I found it so annoying having to start a task and then having to stop mid-action because I have to simply move on to the next task. And that is the disadvantage I think about time blocking. When you don't know how much time a task is going to take you, it's very hard to time block perfectly so that kind of aligns when you start a task and then you finish and move on to the next one. That's a disadvantage. Further on, I'm actually going to provide a solution to this problem. An app I would recommend you is Routinery. I used to use this app for my morning and night routines, but it occurred to me that if your days look relatively the same, then it is very easy to use this app. It's not necessarily a time blocking thing like in a calendar, but it's more like you add your tasks and then you can add more time, less time, and it's basically just like a list of the things you gotta complete and then planned out in time. I don't know how to explain that, but I probably applied a screen recording on the screen so you can see what happens. Another app I can recommend you is Structured. I'm using Structured right now and I find it so amazing. It is way better than using a calendar in my opinion because it's more aesthetically pleasing. It's all about the aesthetics nowadays. I have started using this each day on like my free days and also in my morning and night routines. If I don't have my plan together, like for my morning routine, for instance, I'm not gonna get out of bed. I experienced it this week where I am now waking up at 5:30 a.m. and I just simply turned off my alarm, got back in the bed, and continued sleeping. That happened only the first 3 days of this week because the next 2 days I actually had a plan to stick to, kind of like time blocking. I think there's something just about like planning your time and knowing what tasks you have to get to that is making it so easy for you to get started. Try time blocking. Add breaks if needed. Personally, I find that when I take a break, I lose my focus and I'm just like unmotivated. But each person is different, so you might need some breaks. When you are just starting out with time blocking, I recommend you to take rest days. You know how you go to the gym and then you work your butt off and then the next day you're like sore? Yeah. Take it one day at a time at your own pace. You don't have to do time blocking each day so that you don't burn yourself out. An important thing you have to do is know when your energy is the highest, because that way you know when to take it easier and when to add more energy required tasks. That way you don't waste your time and you are more productive. Time blocking. Paper or digital? I think this is up to personal preference, but I'm going to name some of the benefits, disadvantages for each of those. Personally, I prefer digital because you can move your tasks around way much easier and with less mess. If you find it difficult to stick to your digital planner, writing your stuff down actually helps you memorize the stuff that you have to do better. You kind of stay more on schedule. If you have or if you think you have ADHD, paper planners might work better for you because they provide more tangible and tactical planning experience. But I do recommend you to try out both methods and see what works best for you. Now, if you do decide to stick to digital, I would recommend you to use Google and Apple Calendar. Personally, I rarely use my computer, and using those calendars isn't really efficient for me. Another tip I would like to share is task batching. Now, what that means, putting tasks together that are similar. For example, school. I sit down at my desk, I can complete my physics paper, study biology, and revise for my chemistry test all at once because my notes are there and I have to make no effort to move anywhere else. If you're setting each individual task, you might not know sometimes how long the certain task is going to take you. So batching them together, it gives you more time so that you can complete those tasks in whatever time amount you need and not have to worry about your time running out. There are 2 simple ways to implement time batching. Number 1 is by project. For example, you do something for a specific person or something that is in the same place. Second way is by task. For instance, cleaning. Once you start cleaning your bathroom cabinet, you might as well wash the sink, scrub the shower, and so on and so on. Hope that helps. Another thing I would recommend you is to multitask. Yes, I know it might sound insane because I'm sure you've heard that multitasking is very, very bad. But if you do it right, it can be very beneficial and saving you a lot of time. If you do it right, here's how you do that. You're going to use your brain and your body at the same time. Join a meeting and go on a walk. You can actually also run with your friends together. That might be an awesome experience. Does multitasking sound so bad right now? Because imagine how much time you're gonna save if you implement those little behaviors into your daily life. I hope you learned some valuable information in this video. If you did, make sure to like it and please subscribe. I hope to see you in my next video. Okay, bye! Mwah.